Welcome back. Sorry about the delay. Had some difficulties getting connected this morning. This show is just going to be on YouTube this morning in terms of the video element of it. Um, when it comes to the audio element, we will be on the Spreaker network this morning. Good morning to you. Hope you're doing well. Let me make sure that we are, everything is looking good. Yeah, I believe that we are. Good morning to you. Good morning to you. Happy post Father's Day. Happy Juneteenth. Post Juneteenth to you and your family. I hope you're doing well. But we got to get the show started. The show goes on no matter what. Good morning to you. Since we're not going to be on Facebook and streaming live this morning, then what I need you to do, what I'm asking you to do, is to share the show on Facebook from your YouTube or from our YouTube channel here. I really appreciate you in advance for that. That way people can see that we're on and we're live. I want to be sharing it as well. It means everything. Good morning to you, and we'll get started in just a couple of minutes.
You love it when I get so high and drop that thing so low. Make you sit right here. Now you can't go back home. You love it when I get so high and drop that thing so low. Make you sit right here. Now you can't go back home. You love it when I get so high and drop that thing so low. Make you sit right here. Now you can't go back home. You love it when I get so high and drop that thing so low. Make you sit right here. Now you can't go back home.
I'm janked up and I'm banked up and I'm faded. You bend it down and you poke it up and you elevate it. I'm janked up and I'm banked up and I'm faded. You bend it down and you poke it up and you elevate it.
I came over, I ain't sober, I'm still drunk, that's hangover. Might run it back when this page over. You the best thing I done slaved over. Gon' arch you back and been way over. It's overdue for that understressing. Over him, now you underdressing. Call me up and I come finessing. Like, ooh, we shot it, what it do, what it don't. Baby, you a queen, you can move how you want. You was rocking with me when I couldn't stay afloat. They ain't never saying nothing wavy to a boat. Like, eyes up, look at me, now I'm the captain. Brought the camera, time for action. Split the legs, just the napkin, time for snacking. You a mother meal. Tell me that it's mine, baby, tell me that it's real. Hit it to the max, well, tell me how it feel. It's gonna be a minute, cause I'm in it for the thrill. Make her feel like heaven, she gon' put me in the wheel. And willingly, I wanna do anything she wanna do. I ain't even wanna boo, but this is what the karma do. It's hard to be apart from you, cause ooh, I
love it when I get so high and drop that thing so low. Make you sit.
All right, good morning, everybody. Let's get the show started. How are you? Hope you're doing well. I'm doing well. Had a great weekend. Hope you had a great weekend as well. Father's Day weekend. Everybody was out. I tell you what, I love this type of year. All the wonderful things that people are doing. I love the graduation season. I love the fact that you got so many great fathers out there posting pictures of their family and things like that, man. I love it. I absolutely love this type of year, this time of year. Good morning. Welcome back. And then the whole Juneteenth festivities. I was over at the mobile Black Wall Street, and I really love that idea. I think that's a super, super dope idea. I got a chance to connect with the brother that was the organizer behind it. It was over in Walnut Hills, which is the neighborhood I grew up in. My grandparents owned a home over in Walnut Hills for many, many, many decades. And those was my stomping grounds, man. I used to walk from Hackberry over to the Kroger store. And I thought it was a great place. It was over there at Esoteric, the Esoteric Brewery. That was my first time over there, as a matter of fact. Props to them. They did a great job. And People's Corner is going to be electric very, very soon. They got all new shops coming in. Now, I was privy to the plan. I think it was about 3 years ago. I got a chance to kind of walk through and got some insights into what the plans were for that area with the former director of the Walnut Hills. I think it's Revitalization Committee or organization, something like that. But it was hella interesting. And now to see many years later that these plans are coming to fruition, man, it's great. And if you lived in Walnut Hills and grew up in Walnut Hills, man, you're starting to see the neighborhoods has changed. It has changed. There's big changes in Walnut Hills. And some will say for the better, some will say for the worse. I think the only thing that's constant in this world is change. The only thing that's constant in this world is change, right? So get in where you fit in. Gentrification is real, but change and progress continues. Like I said, you give it you give it 3 years, and it's going to be, that People's Corner is going to be a destination spot. It is. And all those businesses are going to be in a prime position. How long has the Greenwich Tavern been over there? They've been over there as long as I can remember. I mean, now they've been there so long that now People's Corner is going to come back in fashion. They're going to get a chance to enjoy all of that new traffic because, they have enough parking. It's a great little spot. You know what I'm saying? Again, esoteric. That's the first time I've been in there. It was nice. It was nice and shit. It was real nice. I love what they did with it. So I can see people really getting a kick out of it. They got the back part of it where you can be outside in what used to be like the former parking lot of the Kroger store. It was a good time. You had Cincinnati Music Accelerator had a mobile stage. CDM's very own Ask Ashley was the MC. She was the host. I thought she did a great job. She's a consummate pro. Got a chance to see her. It's been a minute since I've seen her face to face. I think it's been since like January. But we were out and about, and by we I mean myself and the wifey. We decided to step out together, and the kids stayed home. It was good. It was good. I could take that woman anywhere, and vice versa with me. But it was a good time nonetheless. Hold on one second. I want to make sure I'm liking and sharing the show as well. I've asked you to do so because it means everything. When you share the show, more people see it. Quite honestly, it's just no way around it. There we go. Yes, buddy. Yeah, boy. And Facebook is tripping again. What's happening is somebody out there is so fixated on stopping our progress. That's what happened. I conversed with some of the people on Facebook, and what they told me is that every single morning somebody is reporting the show. Hold on one second. I want to save it on Twitter. Somebody is reporting the show as violent content or content that is bad for the community. And then Facebook has these automated things put in place, but be careful what you set in motion because sometimes it can come back on you. All things happen for a reason, and this is a minor hurdle. We'll deal with this. Don't worry about it. Okay, great. I saved it. So listen, when you see this, please share the show. It's on my Facebook page. I'm gonna share it to all of the different pages as well. Just take a second to share it so everybody knows that we're on this morning. I heard something upstairs, children doing something. That light is pretty harsh. Hold on one second here. That's kind of harsh in my opinion. I think I like that. See, now it's a little too dark. Hold on one second. There we go. Yeah, I think I like that a little bit better. I think it's a little more cinematic. Good morning to you. Welcome to my home studio. Lots to talk about. On today's show, I got 3 OMG stories that you might have missed from over the weekend. At the top of the list, Judge Joe Brown. Everybody loves Judge Joe Brown. He did an interview recently in which he was talking about Juneteenth. And in the interview, he said he doesn't celebrate Juneteenth and will never celebrate Juneteenth because, in his opinion, celebrating Juneteenth is like celebrating losing. He said celebrating Juneteenth is like celebrating losing. And I want you to think about that for a second and tell me what you think. And there's no right or wrong answer on this. I mean, we each can have our opinion and agree to disagree, but he said that. And I thought, that's interesting. And I was watching the Melanin Insights podcast yesterday, and they were having a debate with one of their callers about celebrating Juneteenth and the significance of it and the prioritization of it. And the caller was like, well, it's disrespecting with Miss Opal. And, shout out to Sister Iris. She called me when Miss Opal was coming through, and I got an opportunity to walk with her just a little bit. I mean, in no way did I have anything to do with what that woman did, but I did get a chance to meet her and kind of feel her energy when she came to Cincinnati. I mean, I respect it. But what I would say is having an opinion is never disrespectful. It's all about how you take it. If you feel like Juneteenth is not equity policy intangibles and you voice that in no way is disrespecting Miss Opal or anybody else. That's bull. That's bull right there. That's not how that works. The world don't work that way. You entitled to have your opinion about whatever you want to have your opinion about. Simple as that. And for the people that have a contrary opinion, the way you take it is up to you. Nobody else is responsible for how you interact and how you respond to something. It's up to you. It's up to you. But I want to get your thoughts about that. 513-873-7134. If you like to share your thoughts this morning. Man, the NBA has been wild. I might get a chance to talk about that. I love it, man. Parity. Parity in the league. I love it. Some new faces going to the finals. How many people are in the track and field? Anybody see Sha'Carri Richardson? This sister she is amazingly fast. Like she is destroying the US field. She's got to be the front runner for a gold medal in Tokyo. She is amazing. She is amazing. I watched a couple of the clips on YouTube. She is, I mean, her style, her running style is perfect, and she is blazing. On the male side, there's a 39-year-old runner. This guy is 39 years old. He's going to be 40 years old. He qualified in the 100-meter dash. Yeah, 39 years old. He qualified in the 100-meter dash. And I'm talking about Justin Gatlin. This brother has been doing it since Usain Bolt was out here. Still doing it at 39 years of age. So when they say that an age ain't nothing but a number, that's kind of true. It's true. Your mentality is more important than your age. Your mentality is way more important than your age. And when you're trying to do something physical, Father Time it's going to pull on you. We know that. But at 39 in the 100-meter yard dash, that's amazing. He out there with 25-year-olds. Like the dude that took first place, his name is Trayvon Bromell. He won the 100-meter dash at the U.S. Olympic track and field trials, right? So he's going to Tokyo. He's 25. The guy that came in second is 39, Justin Gatlin. So here he is. He's going to be 40, right? 40-ish at the Tokyo Olympic Games. And I just had to put it out there for the audience, man. You might be in your late 30s thinking it's over with. It's never over with. It's never over with. It's all about, how you conduct yourself. 5-time Olympic medal winner. The guy's been doing it for decades. 39, that's amazing. I had to put that out there, man. So age, at least in his case, is nothing but a number. It's nothing but a number, man. He out there, and he blazed the field. Go on YouTube and just type it in for yourself. You see it. He blazed the field. There was no doubt. Good morning to you. I hope you're doing well. Listen, if you want to share your thoughts this morning, the number is still the same, 513-873-7134, if you like to share your thoughts this morning. Hope you had a great Father's Day weekend. I did. My Father's Day weekend was great, quite honestly. Yesterday, it was chill. My Father's Day gift for myself was I got a super, super hard, workout in yesterday. Sometimes the universe and God can give you exactly what you need, even though you didn't know you needed. So somebody gifted me some equipment that actually worked perfectly into my workout regimen. I didn't even see it coming. So I put it to use this weekend. And again, my Father's Day gifts for myself was I just had to burn it out. I'm on a mission, y'all. The next time you see me, you're going to be like, what? Nate? Is that you? Yeah, that's me. It's just less of me. You know what I'm saying? Age ain't nothing but a number. You can do anything you put your mind to. And then for me, it's all about discipline. Hey, we got a call on the line. We'll go straight to the call in a second. It's all about discipline. For me, I like to do the hard things. I like to walk through the fire. I don't shy away from whatever. I don't bury my head in the sand. And I like to tackle the most difficult things first, because I feel like if you can tackle the difficult things, you can tackle anything. And then for me, as I interact with the world post-cardiac event, building up this temple is the number one thing. It builds my mind. And therefore, if I can tackle this, then I can tackle this. Right? If I can master my own, then I can get out here and make things happen. That's how I look at it. So yesterday I just burned it out, man. Whew, man, I got back to the house. The wife is like, you okay? You need a nap? I was like, I don't need no damn nap. He-Man don't need no nap. Joking. damn nap. Just chilled. I got some gifts. My family gave me this yesterday. Look at this. Yeah, it's super dope. I know you jelly. You want one too, don't you? Go get you one. Go get you a fam that cares about you, and they can get you. They can get you one of these. But rocking the Biggie t-shirt today. That was my father. One of many Father's Day gifts. I'm not sure if you can see it behind me. You really can't because it's right behind me. Let me see if I can do that. My kids got me some Father's Day like dad plaques I can put up on, on my desk and on my bookshelf and things. And it's always great. The love of your family is, it's invaluable. What's more important than that? I would take the love of my family over millions of bucks. You can make money, but you can't make what I already have. I mean, it's invaluable. So that was pretty much it. We didn't do anything outside the house. We took a little stroll on the river last night just to get out the house and stretch the legs a little bit. But pretty much I was in good spirits. I was in good spirits for the whole day, for the whole weekend. Trying to think about Saturday. I mean, Saturday was more of like, I'm not sure what we did on Saturday. I think we were running around doing errands or something like that. But my weekend was chill. Black fathers deserve an extra day. So I want to give you an extra day on this show today to celebrate Black fatherhood, because the Black man, the Black father, is one of the most misunderstood and maligned demographics in Americana. You might be saying some of it is justified. I do not believe that whatsoever. There's this myth that's been put out there that Black men do not stand up for their children, which is an absolute travesty of the truth. It is not true. In general, Black men are just as much in they kids' life as white men or any other demographic. So again, we're gonna extend Father's Day. So happy Black Father's Day to you. To all the fathers out there. That's not an easy burden right there. Being a dad is not an easy burden. Matter of fact, I downloaded to me. Okay, great. I downloaded to me what I thought was one of the most interesting father memes that I saw over the weekend. I actually posted it on my on the Nathan Ivy Show page. I want to share it with you right now. For all the fathers out there, because I've been here on both sides of it, man. I've been there. Trust me when I say that. Some of you might remember my story. I don't talk about it a whole lot, but I've been there. But here's right here. Poor but available father is better than a rich but absent father. And I only share this in the spirit of the fathers out there that may not have the type of relationship that they want with their children. It may not be what's ideal in your head. It may not have worked out the way that you wanted it to. It's a man thing. A lot of men feel like if you don't have no money, you don't have nothing to bring to the table, so they might want to stay away. But just remember, poor but available father is better than a rich but absent father any day of the week and twice on Sunday. Just want to say that. Let's go to the phones and say good morning and welcome to the show.
Morning, days, Kev on the set.
What up, Kev? Good morning, man. Doing well, brother.
Happy belated. I ain't belated. It's still Father's Day, right?
Still
We're just going to continue on.
That's right.
We ain't saying belated. That means that it's past. I agree with that. Father's Day was awesome, man. The best part was I was with my father. That was it. My best gift was that my daughter bought my dinner.
Your daughter did what?
She bought my dinner, man.
Oh, did she?
She bought my dinner. Yeah. She paid for me and her, bro. That was special, man. That's special. And bring a tear right now. You hear me?
I feel you, bro.
But actually, I wanted a couple things, man. Shakira, right? Isn't that how you say her name?
Shakira,
the runner. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
She
right.
Yeah, after the race, man, they did an interview with her.
Shikari.
And she was Shikari, not Shikari. Okay, Shikari. I apologize. My mistake. After the race, they did an interview with her, and she said that her biological mother had just passed, and she said that she was out there. She ran up the steps and she gave her grandmother a great big hug, right? And I was just thinking to myself, like, it's amazing how, and of course, she always, everybody always says, thanks to the Father, of course, meaning the Father in heaven. But it's amazing how no matter what, the black dynamic is amazing. Throughout the diaspora, we are some of the strongest people in the world, man. And I don't think it gets said enough that I don't care what you're going through. Like, our people been through so much, you can handle it. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can handle it. It was just amazing to me. She spoke really eloquently, at the moment, and she teared up a little bit. And but that blazing speed, man, I don't know where that came from, but that's just crazy, bruh. She she's a dynamo for real. The next thing I wanted to talk about real quickly is just that we talked about this Juneteenth thing, and some folks are saying that that's not what we asked for, and this that. Well, look, Miss Opal's 94, right? So thank God that she was able to see what she was looking for completed, because a lot of us that would have delayed it would have also delayed her satisfaction in having achieved her goal, right? And that's not to kick it one way or another. I don't have a dog in the fight one way or another as far as whether it's what we need, don't need, blah, 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 right? But what we do need to know, and what I feel that we should start pushing now is, you know, okay, it's the day after the first national holiday of Juneteenth, or 2 days after the first national holiday of Juneteenth. Uh, we still got some things that we need, that we do need to push for, that we're going to push through for by vote, by putting pressure on our congressmen and congresswomen, and things that we really do need to get completed. So let's apply some pressure, man. It's time to start writing to your congressman or your congresswoman and saying, hey, we need fair and just, fairness and justice, right? In the justice system, we need those things. We want to make sure there's fairness in policing. We want to make sure that there is fairness when it comes to equity and tangibles. We want fairness across the board. And they don't get it by sitting here talking on, not even on Nate's show. I know it's a wonderful thing, it's a great meeting, but we're not going to get what we need by sitting around talking to each other. You have to talk to the people that represent you and make sure that they know you don't support us, we don't support you. Period. I told you I'm gonna be worse now that I'm about to be an African American, man. It's gonna be even worse because I'm, as much as I was out there canvassing for folk and all of that other stuff when I couldn't vote. Now that I can vote, man, listen, apply pressure. When you bleeding, what do they tell you to do? Apply pressure to the wound. That's what stops it, man. It is what it is. We got to get out there and actually get work done. Time out for all of the people out there that are talking about, hey, your vote don't count, it don't matter. Time out for them, because they still ain't came to me with no better solution. Not to this day. Not the people that say that they are militant. None of these people have come up with a better idea. Not one of them. All they can do is say it don't work. Well, tell me what does, and I'll do that. But until that happens, man, we need to get to them polls. We need to make sure that we're showing up in these people's faces. We need to start talking about us speaking as a monolith, maybe not being one, but speaking as a monolith, having a platform and putting forward our platform, bro. The fight didn't stop because they gave us a holiday, right? It did not stop because they gave us a holiday, but it has to be a fight. If you never throw a punch, you can't knock a man down. I don't care what if you stand back and he misses you all day, you still ain't knocking him down unless you throw a blowback. So I'm off my soapbox, bro. But and it's still Father's Day. Happy Father's Day to all of the fathers. And if you are not in your child's life, today is a great day to make a phone call, to knock on the door if you ain't got a phone. Shoot, just to walk down the street and yell across the street if you have to. Reach out, man, and we're gonna be a much better people once we start taking back our power. Bruh, much love, Nate, man. Y'all keep rocking the whole platform. Be cool.
Yeah, like don't come, but then and then let's.
This is a share, and you don't need any of.
Hey, Nathan, it's just Nicole. We can't hear you on YouTube. We can't hear you on YouTube. I try to text. Can't hear you on YouTube. No, yeah, you flowing and we can't hear nothing. All right.
Okay, appreciate you.
All right.
All right, thank you.
Bye-bye.
See, that's people that care about you. Appreciate her. Good morning. Welcome to the show.
Hey, good morning, Nate. This is Terrence. Just wanted to call in real quick. You got a few people talking about they can't hear on Spreaker.
Yeah, I think I fixed that.
Okay, cool. All right, my bad, bro.
You. No, it's all good. It's all good. I appreciate the love, man. See, people care about you. That's how you know people care about you, man. When they tell you when you ain't looking right. That's how you know. I think we're good though. I think we're good at this point. Let me go back. I want to play this Judge Joe Brown clip for you real quick. I think it was on my end. You know, I always turn the microphone off when I'm talking to people just because there might be some ambient sounds or something like that they might pick up on. I don't want to interrupt their flows. So sometimes I forget to turn the mic back on. I ain't infallible. All right, let's play this real quick. Tell me what you think.
Well, why haven't you gone to the border? Well, I have. Well, we have.
Up there waiting for something to keep.
Mess. At first it was Memorial Day. It was the Juneteenth over Pride.
Oh, God.
Because Juneteenth is next Saturday.
That's so embarrassing.
Juneteenth?
It's an embarrassment.
Really?
My granddaughter is born June 19th, and I'm so embarrassed she was born on that day.
What, isn't that a significant day for African Americans?
Yeah, it is, but it's embarrassing. At my age, all of my life, Juneteenth was supposed to be June 19th, 1866. Now, what's wrong with that?
I thought 1865.
No, they changed that in the last 4 or 5 years to try to cover up the embarrassment. You know what the embarrassment is?
What?
1863, first part of the year, Abraham Lincoln, February, signed the Emancipation Proclamation.
Right. January 1st.
January.
No, he actually signed it in September.
Hold on. He issued the Emancipation Proclamation February 1863. All right. Next thing, the 13th Amendment freeing the slaves passed out of the House, got sent to the states January 1865. All right. Issued the Emancipation Proclamation. Okay. Next thing that happens, January 14th, 1865, General Sherman signs the order as commanding general of his military district, the Black Reparations Act order, which is 40 acres and a mule to all Black families. All right. Next thing that happens, Lee gets his ass whooped and surrenders at Appomattox Courthouse, April 1865. May 1865, Sherman whips Johnson and gets his surrender. No more Confederate army. May 1865, he sends a cavalry detachment of Black soldiers, cavalrymen, down to Texas to tell these damn fools that the war is over there free. They won't believe the Black folk. That was in May 1865. Not June 1865, but a whole year and a month later, June 19th, 1866, a Union frigate has docked in Galveston, Texas. And a Union first lieutenant, not first lieutenant, a naval rank lieutenant, that's like a lieutenant major in the Army, or current lieutenant colonel, asked the stevedores why they are laboring under the lash. And he said, well, we still slaves. He said, fools, you've been free for 3 years from the Emancipation Proclamation. You've been free 2.5 years from the 13th Amendment. You've been free for a year and 2 months from Lee getting his ass whooped. You've been free a year and a month from Johnson getting finally his ass whooped and surrendering. And it's been a year and a month since your fellow some black soldiers told you were free. Now you got to have a white boy tell you free? That is so embarrassing.
I didn't know that. So it's technically.
I will never celebrate Juneteenth. I said, you won't celebrate all the hell you want. Damn folks down there being slaves. Oh, I'm so happy. Have you ever seen Walt Disney's Uncle Remus? It was based on a book that a white boy wrote after the Civil War in Atlanta. And the proposition is that Uncle Remus is a very, very disgruntled slave. You know why?
Why?
He was living such a happy-go-lucky life until these northern invaders freed his slavish ass. So,
all right, I'm gonna jump in right there. So that's Judge Joe Brown. He was on the sister, her name was Dana, with her podcast. I'm not hip to it, but give her props and check her out on her YouTube channel. And he just explained why he doesn't celebrate Juneteenth. He says it's an embarrassment. Like, why would you celebrate something that was supposed to be naturally yours? And I get it. You know, intellectually, I understand it. I get the argument. However, I think everybody is open to have their own interpretation. And if people want to take Juneteenth in their respective cities and they want to turn it into something that's positive, go right ahead. Why not? You know, I was out yesterday with a whole bunch of black folks. On Saturday with a whole bunch of black folks. You know, they was partaking in all of this culture and promoting black-owned businesses. And, you know, I think any opportunity to promote black-owned businesses is a good thing. You know, despite what you might feel intellectually, like the ladies with the Melanin Insights podcast, I agree with them 100% when they were talking about Juneteenth and why is it that we get in Juneteenth and not the George Floyd Policing Act? And there could be some things that could have far more substance and save lives and things like that. I'm with you. I'm with you 100%. I agree with you. But, you know, maybe the Juneteenth federal holiday will open the door for greater equity policy intangibles. Maybe so. And, you know, it's up to individuals wherever they live to run with it and make it into something positive. It could. You know, or it could not. It could not. It's up to the people. But what do you think? You heard it from Judge Joe Brown himself. Sorry about the audio issues. What do you think? Cincy Tigress writes, I don't necessarily agree with him, but I appreciate his opinion. Terrence writes, Judge Joe Brown, come on, bruh. Politically Petty Podcast Show writes, an opportunity to celebrate black culture and black businesses is always a good thing. It is. It is. Like you could say, you take out Juneteenth and just say, you know, it's Second Saturdays. Second Saturdays, we're going to celebrate black businesses. Okay, that works too, right? Like the name of it. And then some of it is maybe countercultural. Kind of like some people are kind of like, they might look at it like, oh, okay, well, y'all wanted to keep us in bondage and keep our people in bondage 3 years after they were already freed. Okay, well, flash forward 100 years. And what we gonna do is we gonna build up Black Wall Streets all over the country to show y'all what's up. Okay, maybe people take it that way. Okay, that's cool. Oh, Cincy Tigers writes, a great thing, just don't get rocked to sleep. Right. Take it for what it is. Tabitha writes, I think it's part of a bigger movement. I think so too. I think it has the potential to be part of a bigger movement. You know what I'm saying? That's what I think. I don't think it's disrespectful to Miss Opal or anybody else because you have a contrary opinion. Like, if you take it that way, that's the way you take it. But that's not the individual who has an opinion's fault. That's the individual who has a reaction to the opinion's fault, right? What do you think? Adele writes, not funny because Texas did not recognize United States sovereignty. Before we get too deep in the show, folks, I want to remind you about an upcoming event that you can be a part of. Is this Wednesday, My Legacy Matters. I've been sharing the flyer. I'll share it with you this morning as well. The good folks over at Rosemary's Babies Company are putting this together. It's a drive-through event. They are targeting young fathers, teenage fathers, 13 to 19 years of age. They have collected resources for you, and it's going to take place at their site in Reading Road. I'll be sharing it with you. I'll share the flyer with you again. I do it every single morning. You can go to my personal Facebook page. You can check it out there. And I know that Rosemary's Babies Company has been really good at pushing it on their end as well, to just get as much visibility about it as possible, because we want people to see the event and use the event as a resource. We just finished Father's Day weekend. Of course, we're extending Father's Day one more day because fathers deserve 2 days. Okay. We deserve 2 days, especially Black fathers, because Black fathers are much maligned and disrespected. There's a general attitude out there in the minds of some people that Black men are not in the lives of their father, of their children, or that they're bad fathers. Nothing could be further from the truth. Nothing could be further from the truth. Being a father is a tremendous responsibility. It is a tremendous responsibility that not every man is subject to. Not every man is subject to raise a daughter. Not every man is subject to raise a son. God has bestowed that responsibility on the men who he believes can actually handle it. That's just the way it goes. You know what I'm saying? It's an awesome responsibility. And if we really believe that, then as much as possible, we want to support fathers that might be in some type of struggle. They might need a little bit of help. We always talk about mothers, and for a good reason. We will always support the moms, obviously so. But I love what Rosemary's Babies Company is doing, because they're supporting the other half of the equation, and that's the DAD, the dad. It is the dad. And that comes, I mean, that is such a loaded word right there. We just say it so easily, dad, but that shit is not easy. It is not easy. It is an everyday 24/7 thing. And these kids are going to test you. They're going to test you. I was talking with Scotty J, AKA Scotty, the talk show hottie. And I say that in jest. That was his name when he was doing radio back in the day. We were radio colleagues, but I ran into him. You know, he is a part of the Democratic slate. I must say that the Democrats are making history because they have a majority Black slate for the first time. They got 9 people they're giving their endorsements to. 6 of them are African-American or Black. Now, are all skin folk and kinfolk? Are they kinfolk? We will have to decide. We'll figure out for ourselves. I ran into Amika Owens. That's a sister who is running for city council as well. We're Facebook friends, but I'm going to circle back around and connect with her for an interview. For folks who are wondering when we're going to start our interviews here, I'm thinking we'll start them about August. Late July, early August. I don't want to get too ahead. I don't want to wait too late, because what I like to do is talk with everybody a couple of times. You know, I want to talk with everybody a little bit, like a few months before, and then like that couple of weeks before as well, because sometimes things can change. And I want to get a sense of who these individuals are, what they believe in, what they stand for. And that way we can make a best decision for ourselves. Okay. Who else? I saw Jan Michelle Lemon Kearney. Who else? I saw G. Gordon, Gallon Gordon. Renta Avtat Pureval is there. He was there with Brother Powell. Brother Powell. My wife was like, I like him. I'm like, Brother Powell's a likable person. You know, I don't care. He's just likable. You can't not like the brother. You just got one of them infectious personalities. He's just like that. Let's go back to the phones. Good morning. Welcome to the show.
Good morning, Nate. Happy Monday. This is Donita. How are you?
Hey, happy Monday, Donita. Good morning. I'm doing great.
Hey, I just wanted to talk about, the thing with Juneteenth and, what about the George Floyd Policing Act?
Yeah.
And my point is that we have to realize that the biggest police reform is going to happen at the state and local levels. I just really wonder, when people who are, they should have done the George Floyd Policing Act instead of Juneteenth, or was it just to pacify us? I'm wondering, have those people actually read and understand what the Policing Act is going to do? You understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So when I'm looking through this, and when I'm looking through it, what I'm looking at are things that if people would vote in their late and state, local and state elections, a lot of this is going to help us better, because a lot of this is about federal. And I keep saying it over and over, and I don't understand why people don't get it. The federal government does not regulate state and local policing. We do. You understand what I'm saying? So if you want to make change at home, you got to start at home. So when I look at the provisions of the George Floyd Policing Act, one of the things is that they want to require federal uniformed police officers to have body-worn cameras. A federal officer ain't going to help me here in Cincinnati. What does that mean? Require marked federal police vehicles to be equipped with dashboard cameras. That doesn't help me here in Cincinnati. Require state and local government agencies that receive federal funding to ensure that they use body cameras and dashboard cameras. Well, the caveat in that, the key words to that, Nate, are governments that receive federal funding. We all know that some bigoted agencies will say, you know what, keep your money, we don't want it. That happened right here in Ohio. If we all remember, the Ben Spence Bridge was supposed to be fixed a long time ago. That was supposed to be done under Obama. But the Republicans said, screw you, we don't want your federal money. And they can do the same thing. So the only way that this is going to be ensured to happen is if all these government agencies, they receive federal funds. So do we really think that Norwood would rather let the government tell them what to do? Or is Norwood going to say, screw you, keep your federal money? Is Green Hills going to say, screw you, keep your federal money? We're not doing that. We already know that a lot of places right here locally where we live, that's what they'll do. And then when you go down south, you don't think it's going to be even worse? Do you understand what I'm saying?
So what are you arguing, though?
Things,
I don't understand what your point is. So like
my point,
Juneteenth, hold on, don't do this, son. So the Juneteenth holiday was made a federal holiday on the federal level, correct?
Correct.
Okay. So when people make the argument that they would have preferred more substance and tangibles from the federal level, how is that not consistent? We still talking about the same federal level.
No, but what I'm saying is maybe I'm just thinking people don't really understand it, which I really don't think they do. I don't think that people understand that passing the George Floyd Policing Act, I think people think this is going to end, and this is the end-all, be-all of police reform, and it's not.
I don't think that people think that. I've never heard anybody say that, Danita. I think that what people are saying is that, no, bro, you can't do that. I'm talking. I think what people are saying is that the federal government, the federal level has a role to play in this as well, and they do. And they do. So when you have the Department of Justice comes in and is asked to review whenever there's an incident in which you have unarmed individuals who are killed by police. I mean, look here in federal.
But my question, Nate, is, so when we get to the Department of Justice coming in, we're already beyond the point. Does that make sense? What we want to do is we want our state and local laws to have these provisions already. So it's great. It's great that the federal government is going to be, to me, the federal government should be the backup. But the actual police reform has to start on the state and local government. We want these things to be already in place here in the state.
Yeah, but we don't want the federal government. Everybody knows that.
But no, I don't think they do. No, because just from listening to someone, okay, well, why don't we do this? Why don't we make sure that we are passing along accurate information, just in case those people who don't understand? Because we want to make sure that we're being knowledgeable to everybody. So what I'm saying to the listeners and to you is let's review right here on your show. It don't have to be right this second. Give you some time to make sure that we got everything in line, but make sure that people totally understand what the George Floyd Policing Act will do and what it won't do, and how what it won't do.
We got that, sis. This is like NAACP. This is like NAACP talks about it all the time. They're one of the major backers of it. They talk about it on a podcast. Okay. TNT she's in the chat room right here. We've been talking about it. So I don't who has misinformation. I don't have any misinformation.
Nobody, Nate. I'm wrong. Everybody totally understands the George Floyd Policing Act. There's no need to educate people.
That's not even the point. Okay. What I'm saying is everybody understands that the federal level has a role to play, and so does the state and local level. Everybody understands that. I understand that. I think most people in this audience understand that. I don't think that people think that if you pass the George Floyd Policing Act, it's going to be a panacea. No, there is no panacea. Nobody believes that.
All right.
I don't know anybody who believes that, but it can all help.
I'm misspoken. I'm misspoken. I don't have a problem with that.
Okay.
All right. Have a great day.
Right, you too. Thank you. Son, you tripping. You tripping, man. You're on the air, man. You tripping. Good to see you. Say good morning. You got to roll out of here, bro. Good morning. That's too low. When you're on the microphone, you got to project, man. Talk through it.
Good morning.
You can do it louder than that. So good morning.
Good morning.
There it is. There it is. Now you sound good. I'm talking with Miss Danita. You over here distracting me, man. It's good to see you. You see how he just rolled up, put his chair here, just join the show. Okay, that's good too. But yeah, I'm sure there's a lot of I'm sure there's a lot that we don't know. I don't know every detail of the George Floyd Policing Act. There's very few people that do. But I don't think anybody believes that it's a panacea, though. There is no one-shot bill that's going to change everything because it's too much of a complicated issue. You know what I'm saying? It's too deep in that. But I will say that I agree with what you're saying. I think you should start local because what you do locally is going to have the biggest impact. But I believe that the federal government has a role to play in this as well because they had a role in creating all this. So it's all of it. You know, we need that love from the federal side, the state side, and the local side as it relates to policing. All of it. It's all important. Yes. Yeah, because I turned it down. No, I don't want to turn it up. Someone to turn it up. Who do you think he is? He said, turn it up. He said, turn it up. Nat writes, the holiday is symbolic. We can nitpick everything if we want Joe shaking my damn head. Get to the chopper! You like that? It makes him feel like he's doing something. Okay, I can understand. How do you turn it? Caramel writes, Judge Joe Brown, shaking my head, Joe Brown going outside. Queen Maxine writes, Grand Risings, everyone. Get to the chopper! Yeah. It's all part of the show. Somebody writes, I love the Black Wall Street idea. Me too. And it's mobile. So that tells me, no, we're not doing that. What that tells me is that they have plans to go to different neighborhoods in the city of Cincinnati. I think that's a great thing. No, man, we're not doing that. Hold on 1 second. It's time for you to do what you got to do, bro. You're doing too much. You can sit here, but you're doing too much. You understand? You understand? Do you understand? Okay. Don't get all, I'm dad no matter what, whether I'm in front of this mic or this, whatever. You know that, right? Right? Uh-huh. Don't think this changes anything because I'm going to be me. You're doing too much. You're doing too much, love. Okay. You're underneath my arm. I don't want to hurt you because my elbow's right here. Okay. All right. Let me see here. Terrence writes, I want one for us in Cincinnati. Bold Writing writes, I appreciate the information, but he is day late, a whole new holiday short to change things now. Queen Maxine writes, we can start our own holidays if we're all on board. True. Charles writes, why is Judge Joe Brown so bitter about it, though? Why does it bother him that much that he views it as an embarrassment? Judge Joe Brown is looking at it through a romanticized lens. Those slaves had no idea until told. Hold on with me a second here. Let me, I got to text your mom. See, all you got to do is say his mother. He out the door. That's hilarious. Oh, man. Cincy Tigers writes, my beautiful melanated black mother works for a company that will not observe Juneteenth as a holiday or day off. I'm just saying, it's a kind gesture. Thanks, America. It says, and see, that's the other thing. And so now, that's one thing that's interesting. So they make Juneteenth a federal holiday. It'll be interesting to see the soul of some of these businesses and organizations. Are they going to recognize it? Just like with Martin Luther King Jr.'s holiday, it just puts more pressure on them. It gives you an opportunity to see who they really are and what they really believe, right? Because you got some businesses out there that love to take our dollars as consumers, but they're not really allies. So, I mean, it might be a small thing, but it's still a thing. So in general, I mean, it's all about what you do with it. It's like an opportunity. Like you can have all kind of opportunities, but you don't do nothing with it, don't mean anything. What you do with the opportunity means everything. So that's how I look at Juneteenth. I mean, if it's an opportunity to build something bigger and better and promote Black culture and Black businesses and Black Lives Matter and all that kind of good stuff, great. I mean, absolutely great. Let me see. Terrence writes, does he have a website yet? A platform? You're talking about Judge Joe Brown? I don't know. Alicia writes, both whites and blacks were aware that slavery ended, but white slave owners would not acknowledge that and terrorize and brutalize the blacks. Troops were sent to enforce the proclamation. Has there ever been a movie made about that time period and what was going on in those 3 years? I'm sure there's been many books written about it. But I love to see like a documentary or a movie that is really, 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 really close to the reality of it to give, because everything's about movies these days. You put some, people don't know shit unless it's on Netflix these days. So put it on Netflix, put some big stars in it, make sure it's historically accurate, and then people can get that history. I'd be interested in seeing that. Charles writes, have you ever seen Antebellum? Check it out. So why would you believe that you were free from the word of men who look like them? Who used to be in bondage like them? Okay. There are folks who will do the bidding of their donors. We know that is just like how Cranley is now trying to give the city manager a raise without consent from council, but no CAA money. Yeah, I agree with you. Trucking with Dante writes, we can rebuild several Black Wall Streets. There's nothing but land from the Midwest to the west of the country. We have complained enough. I'm all in. I'm with you, brother. Queen Maxine writes, there are many fathers who take care of their children and we should celebrate them, but the deadbeats can kick rocks. Yeah, I'm here. I hear you. I think that we should try to make every attempt to interact with the deadbeats. You know what I'm saying? Like, I got empathy just because of life knowledge and life experience for fathers that are disconnected from their kids. In some cases, it's because these men they was disconnected from their fathers. In some cases, right? In some cases, is because they had issues with the mother. In no way am I trying to, legitimize it, but it's a real thing. You got issues with the mom, she tripping. You like, man, I ain't got time for none of this. And you end up turning your back on your child. All right, son, have a good day. You end up turning your back on your child because you got an issue with her. Now, I think that's not the right way to go, but it happens. You got some fathers that want to be there, but they got a baby mama who is on some dumb ish all the time, and she makes it as difficult as possible for him to see his child. And so he says, screw it, I'm out of here. I don't want to be manipulated. You got some men who take issue to the whole child support system. So it's kind of like, oh, you're going to force me to do this? Well, I'm going to pay this child support, and that's all you got coming. Again, human beings can tell themselves anything they want to do what they want to do. That's what I've learned. A human being can get in their own head and justify any behavior. Any behavior. They can tell themselves that that it's okay. And that's just the way human beings are. It's unfortunate, but it is what it is. Dale writes, Danita is wrong on this. Terrence writes, many departments won't refuse federal funding. Dale writes, she's not mentioning the national database for corrupt police. That is a part of it as well. I hear what she's saying, and she's right. We should focus on the local, but you can't act like the federal don't have no part in it. And I don't think that people are that naive. Like, raise your hand if you believe that the George Floyd Policing Act or any one bill by itself is going to be a panacea. I ain't never seen that before. It's just one more tool to be used to try to move us to where we need to be. And it doesn't mean you stop doing that. So when people are like, well, look at the federal level, they're giving us a Juneteenth federal holiday, but what's up with the George Floyd Policing Act? That's a fair observation because you're talking about the same level of government. That is fair. There's nothing, I think that's a fair observation or critique to make because you're talking about the same level of government. That's just me, but I understand it. So for me, maybe the federalization of the Juneteenth as a holiday will spur some type of change. It might spark somebody out there. For all we know, we may not know these individuals, but it might be sparked like this. Like, oh, word, we doing this? Well, let's do the other thing. It might happen. It might happen. I'm a glass is half full type of person. Norwood needs that federal money. They're not Indian Hill shaking my head. They need the federal dollars, and they still have federal oversight. The militarization of police came from federal government. Dale Rice, people don't think that. I'm not sure what he's talking about. Tracer Rice, I don't believe that people think that at all. See, I don't think that either. I don't think that people think that. I don't think that people think the George Floyd Policing Act is going to change everything if it passes. It's just one more tool. That's it. Not the man. Tabitha Rice, hey, little man. Yeah, he was on one of them. I had to talk to him, but he's all good, though. Bo Riding writes, the collaborative agreement was protected by federal oversight. Correct. That's to my knowledge as well. It was the Fed. And me, I thought they should have had federal oversight for 10 years. That's just me. I'll still stand by that. 3, 4, 5 years of federal oversight when the Cincinnati Police Department is over 100 years old, and you're just going to give them federal oversight for a small amount of window. I'm for more federal or longer periods, 10, 15, 20 years, because it took 100 years for that organization to become what it is. You're not going to change it in 5 years. And the Cincinnati Police Department, it was Judge Susan DeLotte, was looking over their shoulder and checking in with them like, you're not doing what you agreed to do. Because these systems run by humans don't want to change. So the feds do have a role to play locally in terms of pushing our police departments in the right direction. Now, under the Trump years, they stood down completely. They said, we ain't doing no federal consent decrees. We gonna let the states and the local folks deal with it themselves. They were completely hands off. I think to the detriment to the movement of police reform nationwide, because these police departments in many cases are not going to change unless somebody bigger than them comes in and exerts some leverage. That would be the Department of Justice. Let me see what it is. Terrence writes, but what she's saying isn't wholly accurate. Sissy Tigers writes, thanks for the call. Shantae writes, she woke up spicy this morning. Calm down. It's 8:50 a.m. Politically Petty writes, I'm reading the George Floyd Policing Act as we speak. Terrence writes, Nate, the director always has a C. Yes, he did. Politically Petty writes, Rack Danita, most definitely. Bo Riding writes, all states follow the U.S. Constitution despite every state having their own state's constitution. States follow the lead of the federal government. Terrence writes, Danita, you weren't wrong necessarily. The Reds have a bigger role in funding for police departments. Yes, local dollars do as well, but that's how we locally negotiate the police contract. Brian writes, good morning to you, Brian. Some people do reduce things to the Policing Act, which is the problem. We need cases reopened, killer cop cases reopened, police arrests and jailing over reforms because slave catchers ain't changing. Kush writes, good morning, young soldier. Terrence writes, Junior is a sound engineer. Yes, he is. He thinks that because I'm on the air, I won't get with his little ass. He just don't know. I was raised old school. I don't give a damn who. G.O.D. could be sitting here. I'm going to do what I got to do. With my son, please. But you know how kids are. They think, oh, daddy's in front of people. He just don't know. My mother didn't play those games, boy. Let me go to the grocery store and try to show out. She'll grab me. Oh, you think I won't do such and such because we run around here? Right? In a second. In a second. So I'm sorry, Mom. I'm sorry. I'll be okay. And don't ask for nothing. Okay. Can I get a Snicker? That's true. And why it's definitely sad council won't support it. Yeah, I did read that. I don't really have a strong opinion about the mayor wants to give a raise to the city manager. I say you follow the rules. If city council is supposed to have a review, then city council should do the review. You know what I'm saying? Like when it came to the text messaging or the sunshine laws, everybody was a stickler for the rules. You're not supposed to have 5 people, 5 council members text messaging. Okay, then. So if the rules apply, then the rules apply for every scenario. That's how I look at it. It's real simple. Very, very simple. Good morning to you. If you want to share your thoughts, 513-873-7134. If you would like to share your thoughts, I'm here to receive them this morning. I want to add a few more things to the conversation. We're extending Father's Day. Happy extended Father's Day to you this morning. You deserve it. Don't let anybody take that from you. All right. You deserve it 100%. All right. Simple as that. If you enjoyed your Father's Day weekend, I'm happy for you. I'm happy for you. Enjoy it. All right. If you spend time with your kids over the weekend, great. With your family over the weekend, great. I'll just be honest with you. For me, I just realize how blessed I am every single day. I'm just blessed to be alive, blessed to have the love I have from my family, beautiful children, beautiful wifey. To have the love and respect of your family means everything. What's more important than that? What's more valuable than that? I can't think of anything. Let me talk about the NBA because we are living in the last days of common sense. When you can be an NBA player, start for an NBA team, and you can't shoot free throws and can't make jump shots. I just don't understand the world we living in. Ben Simmons is 6'10" and can't shoot free throws. How is he a starting player in the NBA? What the hell? I mean, you can dribble, you can pass, but you can't shoot a free throw? I just don't get it. Anybody out there who's ever played basketball will tell you shooting free throws is simple. It's just about your mentality and repetition, nothing more than that. I don't want to hear this nonsense about, oh, he got big hands. I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear that. He's got big hands. I don't want to hear that. What I want to hear is get your ass in the gym and work it out. Now, let me say something to you, and I'm going to challenge you on this. But LeBron James is not the king. I said it. I know that was a moniker given to him, and it's just meant to say that he's the best basketball player in the league and he can do everything. But there's one thing that he needs to work on, and it's maddening. I'll never understand this. How can you not be a good free throw shooter? You're standing up there by yourself. Nobody's playing defense. What it tells me, and I hate to say this about LBJ, but it's weak mental. I hate to say it. I hate to say it because I support LBJ. He's a son of Ohio like myself. But how can you not shoot free throws? It's one of the easiest skills in basketball to learn. But in the heat of the moment, it can be one of the most difficult things to do. You cannot be one of the greatest of all time if you're not at least an 80% free throw shooter, period. If you ain't shooting 80% from the line, at least you can never be considered the GOAT. So when people say LeBron James is not the GOAT, you're right. But it has nothing to do with Michael Jordan. It has nothing to do with Kobe Bryant. It has nothing to do with rings. It has everything to do with free throws. I mean, the Philadelphia 76ers lost this series because their starting point guard can't shoot. They literally backed up and said, go ahead and shoot, and got rebounds. They were doing the hack of Ben Simmons in the second quarter. Soon as he touched the ball, foul him. He goes to the line, clunk, clunk, and he's getting paid millions of dollars. Sign me up, coach. Damn. You can make $10 million a year in the NBA and you can't even shoot the basketball? That is amazing to me. It's mind-blowing. That is mind-blowing. Any NBA fan, I'd love to get your thoughts on that. It's crazy to me. And it just dawned on me, and I got to say this because everybody knows I support LBJ, primarily because everybody else be hating on him. And when I see somebody getting hated on, then I want to give them support. I love the underdog. But damn it, how you shooting 65% from the free throw line and you're standing up there by yourself? It's just you and the rim. Anybody heard of muscle memory? That's all a free throw really is. So it's muscle memory and getting out of your own head and just following through. That's all it is. Man, there was a white dude named Chuck I used to play ball with at the Friars Club. I've told this story before. This dude was money from half court all the way in. And I'm going to say half court all the way in. And when I say money, he was money. He was 80% from half court. I shit you not. I swear to you on everything. I seen it with my own eyes. It was the most amazing thing. Buckets, half court like it was nothing. Buckets. But in a game, he was a liability because he had a long follow through. And it took him 2-3 seconds to get his shot off. Now in basketball, that's an eternity. You just block a shot every time. But if you just put him anywhere half court in and say, hey, Chuck, shoot 50 of these, he gonna make 40. Money. And I used to talk to him all the time. He was a white dude. He was in great shape too, worked out every day. And all he would do was work on his jump shot. It was just muscle memory, focus in his head, money. I shit you not. It was amazing. I didn't know you could be that good at basketball. I had no idea. Amazing. And I'm like, damn, if he can do this and he's just some dude at the Friars Club, you telling me that Ben Simmons and LeBron James can't get their game together? So for all the folks who say LeBron James is not the GOAT, you're right, he's not. Because the man should at least be 80, 85% free throws. It's free money. It's free money. Just get that free money. That the greats don't leave any money on the court. They take it all. They take it all. Tell me I'm wrong. Any NBA fans out there? Did you watch any of that series? I just watched it on YouTube, like the clips. I'm watching them just literally back up and let this man shoot, and he's clunking. In the second quarter, he's the starting point guard. This man is trying to pass the ball before they foul him because he's in his own head about going to the free throw line. It's called the free throw line. The free throw line because nobody's playing defense. Amazing, man. You can make millions of dollars and can't shoot a basketball in today's NBA. I'll just sign me up, coach. I want some of that. Cincy Tigers writes, it's all muscle memory. It is. It's nothing but muscle memory and getting out of your own space in your own head so you don't mess up your muscle memory. I mean, listen, when you get real good at it, you can damn near shoot with your eyes closed, quite honestly. Damn near. That's why you seen videos of Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant shooting them with their eyes closed. It's just muscle memory and then being calm inside your own head that you don't mess up your muscle memory and mess up your own flow. I mean, it's just like in basketball. Sometimes somebody will shoot a shot and people say, oh, that was lucky. It wasn't lucky. It was muscle memory. That's all it was. Your body knows exactly what to do. Tracy writes, anybody talk about what happened to Sheriff McGuffey yet? I'm not even aware of what happened to Sheriff McGuffey. What happened? Looking it up right now. What happened? See, let me see. I'm reading that Hamilton County Sheriff Charmaine McGuffey's county car was stolen from her driveway on Saturday with her gun inside. Her car was stolen from her Columbia Tusculum home and has since been recovered, but the gun is still missing. She says she responded to an incident involving a man barricading himself Friday night. When she got home, she parked her unmarked car in the driveway, and she left her gun in a secured compartment in her locked car. As she was leaving for the airport for a sheriff's conference on Saturday morning, she noticed her car was stolen and reported it. The car was later recovered in Witten Terrace around 1 p.m. And damn, so somebody went over to Columbia Tusculum. They got some really nice homes over there in Columbia Tusculum. Have you been down there lately? I don't want to live in the river basin like that, like close to the river. It's just not me. I used to work at Riverview East Academy, and I just don't want to live down there. But they got some beautiful homes down there. And that Columbia Tusculum area, man, they got some brand new like sites that they've been building homes on. Beautiful. So you telling me somebody stole her car out of her driveway? She should have been more careful than that, quite honestly. She's a Hamilton County Sheriff. That's the long and short of it. I don't know what that means. She says she locked the door. So how much more careful can you be, right? But I mean, she was leaving for a conference in the morning. Maybe she said that she thought everything was cool. So now the Hamilton County Sheriff's gun is out there. I read within the last 2 weeks that the Cincinnati police was putting a word out there that a lot of people were getting their cars stolen because straight from their driveway, because they were idling their cars. And then somebody's like, oh, I see it. I see free money. And they jumping in the whip, rolling out with it. So they recovered the car and not the gun. So hopefully that gun doesn't turn up in somebody's murder. Let's just call it what it is. Dale writes, it sounds suspicious. Tracy writes, the car was recovered, but not the gun. She's right about that. Dale writes, they put the car in a black neighborhood. Sounds fishy to me. Bo Ryden writes, that's probably a nice gun. It's probably going to end up with a body on it. I hope it doesn't, but I wouldn't be surprised. Terrence writes, her service weapon and her Bible was stolen from her driveway. So God and guns. Somebody wanted all that protection. The protection you get from the guns and the protection you get from God. They want it all. Let me see here. At least LeBron is above 70% for his career, and he's made clutch free throws. Shaq was a center for many years and can't shoot. Ben is a 6'10" ball handler. He has the ball in his hands. I hear you on that, Nat, but for LeBron to be considered the GOAT, he's got to be above 80% free throws, period. Everybody says he's good at everything. He can shoot. He can play defense. He can be a floor general, but he struggles at the free throw line. You can't be the GOAT. You got to shoot at least 80% to be considered the GOAT in the NBA. That's greatest of all time, period. That's it. That's all. So I love me some LeBron, man. I hope he gets some more championships, but he is not the GOAT if he's sub 80% as a free throw shooter. That means he's left a lot of money on the table. And the GOAT never leaves money on the table. You look at Kobe, you look at Michael, they get to the line, they concentrate because they know that's free money. You can win the game or lose the game at the free throw line. LeBron get up there, man, and you can damn near tell whether he's going to make it by his shooting rhythm. Hell, I'll be at home sometime like, he going to miss that brick or he's going to make that swish. You can see it. You can see it. Let me see. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar never hit 80%, and he's clearly top 3 all time. That's a problem. That's a problem. You're not at least 80%, you can never be considered a GOAT. Simple as that. Let me see. Terrence writes, can't show out in public with mama, hang it up. Right. Mama ain't playing. Daddy ain't playing either. Let me see. It happens all the time. I never leave my firearm in the car overnight. Same here. That's a no-no. No. Always with me at all times. Why would I? What the hell is it gonna do in the car? And I'm in the house. That gun is gone. It will resurface with a body. So, you know, what's the moral of the story here? The moral of the story is make sure that you lock in your doors, get a security cam, do everything you can. Don't leave your locked car, your gun in the car. That's what the moral of the story is. But you know, it can happen to anybody. It can happen to anybody. Anime Savage writes, I call BS on Columbia, Tuska, whatever. He's silly. To the T, man, who even know where that's at? Sounds like a prerequisite for murder. Oh, what are you trying to say? Prerequisite for who to commit a murder, Anime Savage? I know you're not implicating Charmaine McGuffey. No, you're not implying that, right? I'm not picking up on anything like that. I mean, how are we going to blame her for being a victim of crime? It can happen to anybody. I think, since Tiger says she agrees with Anime, I think if I'm Sheriff McGuffey, number one, you want to make sure you're not being targeted. That's number one. You want to make sure that somebody isn't targeting you and following you back to your home and they know you're the Hamilton County Sheriff, right? And then secondly, just making sure you put as much security measures, preventative, as possible. That's all you can do. For me, it's just a reminder. See, I already know we don't leave any valuables out in the car. We live in the Coreyville area and have for many years, and we live all over the city, but we've had our car broken into twice. And one time somebody broke into our car because I left some equipment on the back seat. They stole it all. And the first time somebody broke into our car, they rummaged through everything, glass everywhere, didn't take anything. I was pissed. Because I was like, damn, I want you to take something. You're going to do all of this and I got to do all of that. Then I want you to steal something. Cincinnati Black United Front writes, good morning, great people. Said good to see you. Nat writes, something is fishy about that story. Were wolves involved? LOL. I don't know, but the Hamilton County Sheriff Sharmie McGuffey, apparently she had her car stolen from her home and somebody stole her weapon as well. So I hope it's recovered. Hope they recover it because we already know this could end real bad. Real bad. Good morning to you. How was your weekend? Did you step out and do any Juneteenth activities? If so, what did you think about it? Did you go to the mobile Black Wall Street event over in Walnut Hills on Saturday? I did. The wife and I walked through a little bit. We were there for maybe about an hour or so. It was a good time. We were masked up for most of it. And then we were walking around, seeing a lot of people with no mask. The vast majority of people had no mask on. But, we still had our mask on when we stopped. For the most part, we took it off a little bit. And you know what? We realized something. This is a very interesting fact that my wife and I just realized. I think it was like a week or two ago. So we're just like every other married couple. We got our fire, proof bag with all of our essential documents in it and valuables and all that kind of stuff, right? In a secret location and all that kind of stuff because you want to keep these documents. One of those documents is our marriage certificate. My wife and I, we got married in 2000. And I think you can call it eloped. We didn't do a full big old wedding. We literally were, chilling out, laying in bed together. And I was like, let's make it happen. You want me, I want you, let's make it happen. Now, since then, we've both regretted it. Like, what the hell were we doing? We was just kids. We could have waited. But, we sticking with it. We stuck with it. We'll see how it goes, right? So far, so good. And I'm looking at the marriage certificate because I was curious as to, there was a woman and she was so nice. I never forget it. We didn't get married. We got married by, I believe she was at the time like the mayor of Forest Park. And we searched around that day and my wife is impulsive. I have an impulsive streak in me as well. And we was like, we gonna do this. We got dressed up. I can't remember what I was wearing that day, but I had a shirt on or something. I even had a tie on. It was such an emotional day. I would marry her again in a second. It was such an emotional day. And I remember that the woman who married us was just so nice. It was a Black woman. And it just seems like for whatever reason, she just really took a liking to us to the point where she didn't even charge it. She was like, nah, Black love, boom, keep your money. I love to bring people together. And she said things to us like, I can see y'all having a bright future together and just stay close to one another and stay in love, right? So 2 weeks ago, I'm looking at our marriage certificate and guess, to my surprise, who this woman is. The woman who married us is Stephanie Summerall Dumas, the current Hamilton County Commissioner. We didn't even realize it until 2 weeks ago. We didn't even realize. I'm looking at the marriage certificate like, really? I didn't remember who it was. I mean, it was a long time ago and we was caught up in love and doing our own thing rather than the official. So we ran into her on Saturday and we told her like, yo, you married us. We took a picture and everything. We're going to put it in our keepsakes. It's very important to us. And we retold the story to her. She was so surprised. And of course, she didn't remember us because she said she had married like hundreds of people over the years. But I thought it was very, very interesting that Stephanie Summerall Dumas was the woman that married the wifey and I back in 2000. So what is that? 21 years ago. We had no idea. She was so nice. She was so nice. It was so emotional. I had tears in my eyes. The wifey had tears in her eyes, as you might expect. You know, those kind of things can be very emotional. And she was just so nice. She wouldn't even take our money. She was like, look, I just want to do this because I can feel y'all love. And we, over the years, have talked about that. We've talked about, like, remember, you know, what the woman who married us said, you know, it's been a part of our love story, you know, all that kind of stuff. But when we ran into her, we saw her, we was like, we had to tell her. And we told her the story. She was just so surprised and shocked. She was like, aren't you Nathan Ivy? I was like, yeah. She's like, I married Nathan Ivy and a wife. I was like, yeah, you did. Thank you. I appreciate Stephanie Summerall Dumas. So if she out there right now watching, she may be. I appreciate you. Thank you so much for that love. And we still together after all these years. After all these years. And we had no idea. We just came across it. Again, I was just looking through the papers. I can't remember what I was looking for. I might not have been looking for anything. I might have just been looking at shit. You know how sometimes you look through papers like, what's in here? And then you see, your old records of your babies, the children you had, and, you know, some other important documents. It shook both of us like, word. And again, we took a photograph. Matter of fact, I think I got it right here. It means something to us. You know, you like, why are you telling me this story, Nate? I don't give a damn. It means something to us. And we took our little picture here of Stephanie Summerall Dumas. Look at this. Look at it. I'll show you. And there it is right there. There it is. Can you see that? You see that? There it is. That camera is dice. See how it adjusts and put me in the background? Look at that. That was from Saturday. And that was 21 years later. Yeah, that was great. That was great. I was like, look, we still together, Stephanie. You must have did a good thing. Now, will we be together 5 years from now? I don't know. I don't know if we're going to make another 20 years, but we here now. And that's all that matters. Hopefully we will. Let me see. Brandy writes, wow, that's sweet. I think so. You know, it's something between me and the wifey, and, you know, a little something. But, you know, it was something that touched us. So, you know, something we just remember. Tracy writes, yep, she was the mayor then. Yep, she was. She was. So I appreciate her. I might even bring her on the show and just talk about it. Because, again, over the years, we've talked about it because she was just so, you ever meet somebody just so nice and it just push a lot of positive energy towards you and you can feel it. That's how she was for us. You know, over the years, we spoke a lot about, remember the woman that married us, and we just talk about it and just the energy she brought to us. And it was just such a sweet moment for us that when I found out who it was, I had to acknowledge it. So hopefully she got a kick out of it. I guess if I was marrying people, I would get a kick out of that too. Like seeing you many years later, still together. I would get a kick out of that. I would get a kick out of that. That would be cool. So yeah, that was a good time there. You know, that was a really, really good time. And we were so impulsive. We have looked back over the years like, what was we doing? What was we thinking? Why did we get married like that? I'm talking about us, wifey. And Stephanie Summerall Dumas. Stephanie Summerall Dumas. Right? No, she about to leave me, y'all. Huh? I'm joking. So yeah, that was nice. That's a nice little picture. I'm gonna put this somewhere and keep it. And hell, we might even take a little picture and put it with our marriage certificate, because I just thought it was a nice little circle of events. So it is what it is. Jenny writes, did not know anything about the event. Really? I didn't promote it. I mean, I wasn't working with them to promote it. But, you know, just being on Facebook, you know, Ask Ashley, you know, we're connected because we do Midday Juice, which is coming back real soon. And she was the host. And I got a chance to just stand and just listen and watch. I mean, she's excellent at that. She's an excellent MC. She's got a great personality. And she's really smart and she's light on her feet. And I thought she did a great job keeping the crowd warming up. And she said some great things about fathers, which I had to give a here too. I just thought it was all the way great. I really did. Rachel writes, I talked with the brother who actually put it together, and who knows what can happen for next year and even between them. So we're going to put our heads together. There was something that he has some ideas about. I'm like, hey, let's do it. This brother right here. It'll catch up in a second. Give it a second. There it is. Yeah. So anything that's happening in the Walnut Hills, I'm with it. Let me see. Kevin writes, McGuffey then put a couple in somebody and reported gun my swing to cover up. What? I don't see that. Nah, I don't see that. You shouldn't even play like that, Kev, on the sale. I don't see that at all. I take the story for its word. I think what's being reported is what happened. I think it happens, though. It's been happening a lot. There was just a news article. I think it was in WCPO, Inquirer, or something. And the Cincinnati police was warning people about idling your car because people are jumping your ride and take it. And that's what happened. And I can see somebody going over to Columbia, Tusculum, because they got a lot of beautiful homes over there. If you haven't been over there driving around, they got a whole bunch of beautiful homes they've built in the last 10, 15 years. And I can see somebody going over there and targeting people and stealing a whip. I can see that. Columbia, Tusculum is the kind of neighborhood where I can see where people can feel safe enough to just idle their cars and feel like nobody's going to steal it. I can see that. I can definitely see that. So we'll find out. We shall find out. Good morning to you. Richie B is in the house. Or I'm sorry, Rika B. What's up, Rika? Rika writes, good morning. Good morning, Rika. J. Rose writes, dang. Let me see. Check the friends page to see the post from Sheila Gray. Okay, let me jump on Facebook real quick. I'll check it. Let me see what's popping here. Let me see what's popping. He said somebody new family tradition, Juneteenth feast with chicken, collard greens, sweet potatoes, cornbread, watermelon, and angel food cake with strawberries. Okay. Sheila Gray. Okay. Everything but the burden, huh, Marcia? I see you. So what am I looking at here, Marcia? Boat riding? Is it sort of like, is the feeling that Sheila Gray is what? She's appropriating Black culture by eating chicken and collard greens for Juneteenth? That's a very white thing for her to do. I'll say that. It's a very white thing for her to do. I mean, if that's her tradition, I would hope that our white allies would back up. I mean, listen, if that's their tradition, cool. If they want to have sweet potato and collard greens and watermelon and chicken for Juneteenth, go right ahead. I don't even eat that. Like for Juneteenth, we didn't have anything Juneteenth special. One of my favorite creature comforts right now, because I eat a lot of plants now. I'm primarily plant-based. When I splurge, I usually splurge with some high quality salmon, not some of that you just get from your grocery store, but some high quality salmon, because it's good heart healthy for me. But even that is usually like once a month. So I don't even eat that. I smash watermelon all the time because it's good for you and it's good for men's health. I don't really eat the chicken anymore. I smash greens because it's good for you, but I do that on a regular. So I don't have a Juneteenth family tradition about eating certain food right now. But if our white allies want to have that, I don't have a problem with it. That's their household. Go right ahead and get your Juneteenth feast on. The only thing that I would suggest to our white allies is, while you're eating watermelon, chicken, and collard greens, is to mix in a way to really help Black people build equity, policy, intangibles. Kind of mix that in some way or fashion, whether that's promoting a Black-owned business, okay, or something like that. But I can see how people might take offense to that. I don't. That's her plate and her food. If that's what she wants to have, go right ahead. It's funny that Sheila Gray's eating chicken and watermelon and collard greens on Juneteenth, and I never even thought about it. Never even crossed my mind, quite honestly. That's not really something that I would get into. I don't base, but again, I'm on a different track right now. So my diet is based upon something other than something like that. But I don't hate on her. I mean, shit, all that shit is good. You know, is she buying it from black-owned places? Okay, great. What I would ask her to do is, if she's going to buy it from black-owned places, to tag them in the post, because Sheila Gray has a name here locally. A lot of people know who she is, and she could really help promote some black-owned businesses. You know, that's one way she could do it. You want me to screenshot this for you? I can. Hold on one second. Let me see if I can screenshot this for you. Oh, yeah, she got the watermelon here and the biscuits and sweet potatoes and the whole 9 yards. Okay. People love food. You know, Cincinnatians are foodies. Most people love food. If that's what she want to do, go right ahead, Sheila Gray. Got no problem with it. But again, to our white allies, however you can help build equity, policy, intangibles, even if it's on a small level, that's what we're looking for. But get your feast on. Anybody else got a problem with it? I don't know. Terrence writes, you said a part of Columbia Tusculum is next to Pleasant Ridge. It's definitely not. Did I say that? If I did, I didn't mean to. It's not. It's not. I didn't mean to say that if I spoke in error. I'm just saying that I used to work down there near that area, and you had a lot of poor white people down there. But the area itself is prime real estate because you're right next to the river. It's got a lot of good people, a lot of great families I used to work for down there in service for their children, before and after school programs. Got to know a lot of good people. And since I've done that, I've noticed that the neighborhood has changed. Like, they've got a lot of new developments. They got some multi-million-dollar homes, $800,000-$900,000 homes right there on the riverbank. And if you drive around in some of the hills in Columbia Tusculum, you know, in the lower part of, before you get up to Hyde Park, just amazing neighborhoods, kind of neighborhoods you can see yourself living in, nice homes with some very unique designs. So I'm just saying, I mean, I can see somebody looking at all that thinking, oh, they got money. So let me see if I can hit a lick. And that's what it seems like they did with Charmaine McGuffey. So let me see. Danita writes, I thought Columbia Tusculum was down by the East End. It is down by the East End. So if I said that, I said it in error. Tracy writes, I work in Columbia Tusculum. I find it hard to believe cars get stolen. Really? Why do you find it hard to believe? Why is that? Cincy Tigers writes, watermelon? Yeah, she had the watermelon and everything. I'm not sure. Again, she may know more than me about how watermelon ties into Juneteenth. As a black man, I'm just not aware of it. It's just not on my radar screen. Forgive me. That's not something I'm looking for. But Cincy Tigers writes, what? Jay Rose writes, who's idling their car in the summer? Well, people, I don't know about you, but in the summertime, man, I need one of those reflective things that you put in your windshield, because when it's a hot day, man, oh my dear Lord, you get in the car, it's like you're sitting on the sun, you're melting. So maybe people idle their car so that they can turn the air conditioner on, so when they get in, it's not so hot. You know what I'm saying? Have I done that? Yeah, I've done it. I just did it a couple of days ago. It was super, super hot. I turned the car on way before I got into the car, because I wanted the AC to go cold as soon as I got in. So I've done it before. Tracy writes, Nate, did you eat the 3 asparagus for Juneteenth? Oh, you saw that, huh? Yeah, her food and my food. Well, you know, the wifey and I are venturing out more and more because COVID has been lifted. We've both been vaccinated. So I'm not sure if I told you, but I've been vaccinated fully at this point. I made the decision because I'm a cardiac patient, and I was very fearful about getting COVID and how that could complicate, you know, my post-cardiac arrest. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to be here as long as I can. I enjoy every aspect of life. So now, because of that, the wifey's been fully vaccinated. We still be masked up. We're just venturing out. I mean, Cincinnati has a lot. I don't drink. You know, that's just a part of my life that I just don't do anymore. Not to say I never will, but at this point in my life and for the foreseeable future, I just don't see alcohol being a part of it. I never was a big drinker. It was always something I would do socially. You know, everybody's having a beer, I would get a beer. But now it's just more about just not wanting poison in my body, quite honestly. But I can still have fun. So, we went out to this spot over in on Ludlow. They got like this upstairs outdoor bar that's pretty nice, actually. We're gonna go back to it. She wanted to order some food. So I'm like, let me get something off the menu. Because I'm more plant-based now, I found some asparagus. I mean, asparagus is great for your body. So it was funny because I'm like, damn, she got fries. That shit was looking real good. I got 4 asparagus. But just to let you know, Tracy, they were lightly roasted and lightly sprinkled with some salt, some garlic salt, and they were excellent. I smashed every last one of them. So just so you know. For Juneteenth, I didn't eat anything special. Can't remember what I ate. It was probably a salad or something like that, like a fruit smoothie and some sprouted pecans. I think that's what I had on Saturday. Again, it was nothing special. Terrence writes, like there's even an area between Reading and Arlington Heights that's zoned as Sycamore Township. Tracy is hilarious. Cincy Tigress writes, maybe I'm too militant, but it just feels like plantationish to me. I don't know Sheila Gray, so I can't say anything negative about that woman. I won't say anything negative about her. I stand by what I just said. I think that's the way she wants to acknowledge Juneteenth. It's a little bit off-putting to me. But again, like I said, maybe she's also pushing Black-owned restaurants and/or Black-owned brands and companies at the same time. I mean, that's cool. Correct me if I'm wrong, but can people tell me what does watermelon and sweet potatoes and chicken have to do with Juneteenth? I might be missing something. Please educate me. I'm open to be educated. I'm not the guy to act like I got it all figured out. I'm far from it. I got nothing but question marks. But educate me. I mean, tell me, like, what does that have to do with the other thing? I don't get it. Somebody help me on this. Kathy writes, good morning, all. We should have kept Juneteenth for ourselves. Ugh. Let me see if I can screenshot this and you can check it out for yourself. You might get a kick out of it. This is from Sheila Gray. She is a broadcaster, television personality. I think that's the better way of saying it. She's a television personality. And somebody in the Friends page posted this. Let me share it with you right now. Here it is. So this is her Facebook post. That's what her and her family ate. They got a little bit of everything there. You got you some watermelon and ish. I'm not sure what that is, and chicken and all the things. She got all the things right there, right? A new family tradition, Juneteenth feast with chicken, collard greens, sweet potatoes, cornbread, watermelon, and angel food cake with strawberries. Juneteenth family tradition, Saturday food and dinner. So again, I mean, if that's what they're doing at her house and makes her feel like she's a part of things, Kathy, I mean, good for her. Anime writes, and I bet that all those new houses got cameras on, so how the hell? I would say that if you rob the Hamilton County Sheriff, then local law enforcement is going to leverage every resource they have to try to find out who you are. So I'm sure they're going to access every camera that's available, every traffic cam, all the cameras we don't know about. I'm sure they're going to put every resource available to bear to find out who stole Charmaine McGuffey's car and her weapon. So let's just wait and see what happens. Terrence writes, we kept it to ourselves, and then the nation doesn't have a buy-in for legislation to come later. Tracy writes, plantation-ish? I feel you. I feel you on that. Danita writes, I just went on her page and people were questioning this. A post was in the comments that looks like it came from Google and it lists foods to celebrate Juneteenth. When Google goes wrong. Columbia Tusculum is not the East End for sure. It's different. It's all the East End to me, Tracy. To me, I used to live in Walnut Hills. People used to accuse me between East and North and South or East and West Walnut Hills. It's Walnut Hills. And Columbia Tusculum is its own distinct part of the East Side, primarily because of the unique design and the architecture, right? So I get the difference. There definitely is a difference. I will say that in Cincinnati, we do this way too much. We come up with these arbitrary divisions and we separate ourselves by 1 or 2 blocks. And there's really no difference. There's really no difference. People did that in Walnut Hills for the longest. To me, it's Walnut Hills. Ain't no East and West Walnut Hills and North and South. It's Walnut Hills, period. But we love to do that as humans. We love to delineate ourselves and separate ourselves, and we love to do that kind of stuff. Let me see. Tracy writes, I find it hard to believe because of the neighborhood watch and policing. Not only do you have million dollar homes, you have the CDC over there. The CDC is over there? They got a building over there? I know they're over in Coreyville near the UC campus. I didn't know they had a building over there. Is that right? Huh. Nat writes, you should still warm up the car summer too. Right. You warm up the car in a hot day so that you warm up the engine and you get the exhaust and all the systems running so that when you hit that AC, it can be super cold and you don't have to melt in the sun. You know what I'm saying? Just happened the other day. I get in the car, super hot day. The wifey had left the sunroof back. So all the sun rays was just baking it inside the car. Man, I felt like a sweet potato inside there. I felt like a baked potato. I'd rather she dressed in African garments or shot black on like AFTAB. Connecting traditional degrading stereotypes is slippery slope. We don't know if she is being funny or trying to honor us. Facts on facts on facts. You're right about that. I don't think she was trying to be funny. I think that she was blissfully ignorant in trying to support Juneteenth. But again, I don't want to see her dressed in African garments. I think supporting black owned like AFTAB, because I saw images of him out. And like I said, I ran into him. And I think we took a photograph too, as a matter of fact. Say here. I think I took a photograph with AFTAB. I did not see David Mann. I don't know if David Mann was there. You know, he's got this whole strategy where, okay, I took some pictures with listeners. His brother right there, man, said that he missed me on the radio. Hold on, to catch up in a second. Get a camera a second. There it is. Look at that. That's a dope ass camera right there. But I ran to this brother. He was like, yeah, man, I used to listen to you when you was on the radio. I miss you. And I appreciate that, man. It's nothing but love. Like every time I run into somebody like that, it just gives me more impetus. It just propels me. This is me and Ask Ashley, who was the MC, the host of the event. Yesterday, I thought that she did it. I can't say enough how highly I think of her. It'll catch up. Give it a second. There, guys. Yeah, she's gorgeous. Ask Ashley is gorgeous. Me, not so much. I thought I took a picture. With AFTAB, I'm sure it's in here somewhere. We'll find it. I ran to Alicia Reese as well because Alicia is always working. Always working. I mean, has there been an easier vote for me than when she ran for Hamilton County Commissioner against Indian Hills Andy and whoever the hell else was running? I mean, it was an easy ass vote. And you could just see, I mean, does anybody work harder at delivering than Alicia Reese? I don't know. I don't know, man. Like if I ever move into the world of politics, I'm going to look at Alicia Reese and what she does and how she does it and use that as a benchmark because sis be working. She be out here trying to deliver. I thought that during the pandemic, the way that she ran her campaign is textbook. Like if people should look at the way she ran her campaign and what she did, all the virtual events and how she was out there promoting voter registration and you just couldn't get away from her timeline. Like every time you went to your timeline, she was right there. And then now as a Hamilton County Commissioner, I have every confidence. This is super easy for me. I have every confidence that she's going to deliver as a Hamilton County Commissioner. So I ran into her and they've got the mobile van out. I forget what it's about, quite honestly, but it's something I agree with. It'll come to me here in a second. But she was out working. And that's what you want from your representative. You want to see them out delivering and working. Okay, we need more. We need every politician should work and deliver the way Alicia Reese does. I'm not saying I agree with everything, but over the years, when I see her talking about something and hear her bringing something up, shit, 9.999999 times out of 10, sis be on point. She be on point. That's all I can say. But it was great to see her. Brent writes, I'm wondering what her 4th of July menu will consist of. That will give me some indication as if this is a racist slight. Brent is very intelligent. You're right. It would give us some insights. It would. Tracy writes, I love asparagus sauteed in butter and garlic. If it's going to be butter, it's got to be 100% grass-fed cows. Okay? I step away from the dairy. The dairy be killing us. And it's not the dairy itself, it's the quality of the dairy. Most people eat shit butter. Excuse my language. Most people eat the worst, cheapest they can buy. It's got all the worst stuff in there, the cows. You don't want to eat nothing from these cows. If you're going to eat dairy and eggs and all that kind of stuff, get the best quality. Pasture raised, grass fed, and you're looking for 100% grass fed. Same thing with your steak and your beefs. It's going to cost you more, but you're going to get more out of it. It's going to taste better, and you're going to get more nutrients out of it, and it's not going to have garbage in it, and you don't want garbage in your body. But I'm with you on that. I saute mine in 100% avocado oil, and there's only one brand I F with because a lot of the avocado oils out here is trash. And there's only one brand locally that I would mess with. So if you're interested in getting the insight on this is what I do. Anything I do it to the nth degree. And I'm building up this temple right in front of you. Wait till next time you see me. You're going to be like, damn, Nate, what happened? The temple's coming back. Simple as that. God gave me this body. He gave me a second chance. Now I got to do everything I can to make sure that I honor his gift. Simple as that. So I feel you on that. Nothing like asparagus. Asparagus is good, but green beans are awesome. It's all good. It's all good to me. Let me see. Sissy Tiger was like, I don't like it. Don't mind me. I'm one of the Defiant slaves. That's hilarious. Tracy writes, educate me. Who is Sheila Gray? Sheila Gray is a white female television personality. I think she works for Local 12. She works for Local 12. Is she redhead or something like that? I mean, she's been on TV for a long time, so she's good at it. People like her. And let me look at some of these comments on her page right now. People saying yummy, looks to get delicious. Let me see. Somebody writes, why would you call this Juneteenth feast? We had a feast on Juneteenth. What's to shake my head about? Oh man. Yeah, I'm looking at the comments right now. I like one person tell me what we don't celebrate with food. Again, if that's what she wants to do, people saying yummy, because you understand this is her Facebook page, so it's full of people that support her. So the vast majority of people are not going to say anything negative. What I would say again to Sheila Gray is have your feast. That's your house. Who am I to tell you what to eat on Juneteenth? Eat what you want to eat. But if you really want to celebrate Juneteenth, the way modern day Black people are doing that is what should be your guide. And modern day Black people are taking Juneteenth to promote Black businesses and positive Black culture. That's what we all doing with Juneteenth. So if you're a white ally, that's what you should be doing. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. That's what it really should be. Tiffany writes, looks like she Googled how to celebrate the holiday and came across a page that gave food recommendations. That's what it looks like, yeah. And that's okay. That's all right. I don't think that Sheila Gray is a racist. I've got no reason to say anything negative about her. I just think that, she might be blissfully ignorant about what's going on right now. If to all our white allies, if you want to know how to celebrate Juneteenth, and ask your Black friends, they'll tell you. Let me see. Tracy writes, her family had a photo shoot. They didn't eat that. Mike Will writes, sounds like stereotypical Black food. Yes, it does. I didn't eat it. Tracy writes, there's a difference between Walnut Hills and East Walnut Hills. I don't think so. I used to live in Walnut Hills, and where we lived was considered East Walnut Hills. We lived in East Walnut Hills for many, many years. I didn't really see a difference. Yeah, sure. The homes are a little bit bigger and the land's a little bit bigger and things like that. But to me, it's just Walnut Hills. I never knew what the dividing line was. I never knew that. Again, I think we divide ourselves sometime and we don't even have to. It's Walnut Hills. It's all the same. Some parts of Walnut Hills are going to be a little more pricier. Some parts are going to be a little less pricier. Because of gentrification, the little less pricier places are hard to find. All right. But it's all the same neighborhood. But let's go back to the phones and say good morning and welcome to the show.
Good morning, dear brother. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. How are you?
I'm doing great. Sister Iris, welcome.
Thank you so much. I needed to check in real quick. Preparing just to, one, to educate the community around the Citizens Complaint Authority and all the shenanigans that are happening by way of the budget. And I don't have the full understanding of why we went from 460 to 400. And I called in and I said to you, I believe that we have the votes. And that was based on speaking with the board chair, Zeke Childress, who was lobbying for the Citizens Complaint Authority and the very specific amount that they had asked for. And I talked to you all about not pitting one thing against another because the budget could certainly support 42% of all of our ask if we collectively came together and at least put it down on paper and present it. And I certainly support Mr. Davis in his request for $460,000. He laid it out explicitly all the way to the T. I've not seen any other department present to the Budget and Finance Committee in that fashion. Anything, I just think it's egregious that we now are ending up at $250,000. CCA cannot sustain itself the way that it is being funded today. And I know that we said last year, or 2 years ago, we asked for $200,000, believing that if we had those additional investigators, that they could get caught up. But Nathan, and I've said it on this show, giving you all the reasons. They have been sued in court, prolonged, their authority was taken away because of the FOP and Joe Dieters going after them, and them going to the city defending the CCA and going into the appellate court, getting its authority back, never sufficiently being funded to the tune of what we need to have it to do. And I'm not saying we rush into judgment. I'm saying we do this work correctly. And that means assessing it, measuring it, and having input. That was before we thought, we would see a mandate come from the mayor on arresting 500 people and complaints rise to the level that we need more investigators. Administrative code says a minimum of 5. So we're here. I believe, and I still do, that we should be able to sit down and agree to support the thing that will give us the equity and tangibles that we're looking for in our police department, and that is balance. If we don't have that balance, if we don't have the opportunity to see the data, to communicate, to make recommendations on policies, to hear complaints from citizens, to respond to those in a timely fashion, to make sure that mediation is in place, to make sure, ensure, and underscore this 1,000 gazillion times, that the cornerstone, the pillar of the collaborative agreement is able to communicate with the class. That is you and I and those we birth. No matter what your sexual orientation is, no matter what your social status is, no matter how much money you live, work, walk, and you come in contact with Cincinnati Police Department and or its agents, you are covered because you are part of the class. Now, the CA is the place that holds all this information for us, and we need for them to sufficiently work on our behalf, because we have been the beneficiaries of very biased, very negative, very life-taking policing. So we went from a $460,000 request from the executive director, Gabe Davis. He gave a great presentation. I made sure that he came on your show, talked to you several times, and the choppers for understanding of where we are today. What the requests and these are. These aren't my words. These are based on the expert that runs the entity of the Citizens Complaint Authority. And that critical C in that first word is what drives me. It's the citizens. That's the critical C. So we go from 460. Then there were some negotiations between Christopher Smitherman, the vice mayor, Steve Gooden, Jan Michelle Kearney, and some others. I think it's 5 people that signed the motion that said they would give them $400,000. Mr. Davis and the entity said, okay, great, we'll accept that and we'll work it out. We'll keep pushing. But in order to address and to cure the inappropriateness of this backlog, and I want to get to why this is bad, why this doesn't work, we need additional people. It just is. These are one of these institutions, one of these offices that need to be able to do the job. And we need not be so anal and so critical to say, well, you asked for this 2 years ago and we gave you that. Yeah, well, that was before you decided to go out here and mess with all the people, right? And that was before people who had some apathetic thoughts about this entity, because every day we see police being inappropriate with us no matter where we are. And every day we see police not be held accountable. We have an entity that can help us get to the accountability piece. That's why it's critical that it gets funded. Yeah. So you have this motion for $400,000 that 5 people signed on to on June 8th, just June 8th. And then all of a sudden, there's no explanation as to why they are supporting the recommendations of the city administration for $250,000. You can't get an explanation.
Yeah, I'm pissed. I'm pissed because I understand largely because you make sure I had the information, but I understand full well what that means. I understood everything Gabe Davis said when he came onto the show. I thought he laid out exactly what it was, and I'm pissed because I remember when you called in last week and you said you thought you had it was going to pass, and then I remember thinking afterward, like, okay, so does that mean it's going to pass at the full funding level, or they're going to support it on some levels? I think CCA should get exactly what it needs because this is something that's going to impact Black people, white people, whoever in Cincinnati. And it's an issue that we've been dealing with for years. And I just don't understand why do we create these things and not fully fund them? And I think it'll be good for the whole community. It'll be good for the police. It'll be good for everybody. And I just don't understand why they don't put the money behind it.
It would be daggone great for us because we're not an insured city. So lawsuits are paid by citizens. So we pay on the front end when we get inappropriate, very biased, bad policing. We pay in that. We pay trauma. We pay disruption. We pay chaos in our lives. We pay in that way. And then some of us pay because we get no justice. And if you can't sufficiently, because we like to have this play on words, I listen to people when they call in and they talk. You are fully funded. Yeah, but we're still in pilot stage. It took hundreds of years. They've been abusing us for hundreds of years. I want hundreds of years to figure it out. I don't want it to be rushed. I don't want you to set a dollar amount to it because we don't know what that is. We're still figuring it out because we get bad legislation. We get police that act poorly. We get people who become more aware that this is available to them and who won't be apathetic and who will use the institution in service of self and their community and to holding people who are outliers in the police department accountable. We won't be confused when we hear Dan Hills and go, oh, it ain't that going to happen because he said it. To hell with him. We have an institution that by law cannot be taken away unless you vote for it. So if it's there, why not sufficiently fund it? Why not give the institution the $460,000 it needs in order to, 1, cure the backlog, 2, be able to communicate, 3, make the recommendations on policies and procedures and guidelines, 4, something we've never been able to get to, which is the mediation. Sometimes complaints don't rise to the level of discrimination or excessive use of force. But if you hollering at me and it's multiple individuals and y'all hollering at me, you won't give me the information that I need to get in a way that I believe that I need to be treated. You work for me. It's not the other way around. Why is it that we must know what police do, but police don't have to know what we do? That's backwards. So here we are, Budget and Finance today at 1:30. I will be there. Law and Public Safety, I will be there. And Full Council, I will be there. Making sure that my voice, because I don't woke up this weekend with my opal on, and I posted it. Because we walked across the bridge. You saw me shuffling. You saw me scared as heck trying to get across that bridge. But because that elder came and she had walked across America and she had been walking and she thought Cincinnati, because we have been celebrating Juneteenth in this city for a very long time. She came here for that reason. You interviewed her. You got a chance to interview her. Now, we have a national holiday. I feel honored. And I also feel a duty to not give up and to not capitulate and to not give in. So I am going to make sure that my voice is heard. If anybody wants to be down with what we're trying to do, what we're trying to hold on to and continue to build and hold police accountable. And while, everybody's working on their part, because if I want police to go to jail, I want public cops to go to jail. But I got to work on policy and procedure over here with the city. So we need help, y'all. So we'll throw these things out, but how you going to get it done? I'm telling you how I am getting this done. And this is the collaborative process. It's not poof. It's not Puff the Magic Dragon. It's not something that you thought about, see, feel, taste, or hear. This is a process that was put together. There are two agreements. One is the DOJ, and yes, it deals with all the use of force. What Danita was talking about, I've been in and out. That's the use of force stuff. It's the standard stuff that you see in all police departments. The collaborative is the morality part, the accountability part, holding the people who are treating us bad part, being able to sit at the table and craft the policies that support what we're talking about today. So I'm saying to your choppers and you and anybody listening, your voice needs to be heard. You need to call the mayor, the city manager, and all the council and say, fund the CCA at $460,000. That's a pittance of what the entire budget is. It's just ridiculous. So I needed to let you all know that. I'll come back tomorrow, let you know what happens today. I'll come back. I'll call you in the morning, let you know what happens today. I'll call you on Tuesday, let you know what's going to happen on Wednesday. And I'm calling everybody out. It is time that everybody stands up, because everybody benefits from an agency that holds policing accountable. That is the number one conversation. Let's not get distracted with all the other stuff. Or we can do that, but let's still come back to focus. This is where we are right here today. So we can't squander all the work that's been done because we don't want to see what needs to be done today. Make that be your Juneteenth 2021. Be in service to something. All right.
Appreciate
brother,
you.
I'll check back in.
All right,
Thank
most
you.
def. It's a great way to end the show. Appreciate it. Yeah, I say fund it. I said it since day one. If you're gonna have a CCA, fund it. I mean, I don't understand this. If they need $400,000, make it happen. And the budget is finite. The city council has to make priority adjustments. To me, this is a priority. It's a priority. To me personally, this is more of a priority than Black artists. I know Black artists don't want to hear that, but funding the CAA is more important to Cincinnati than Black artists right now. Not saying it's not important, but let's make sure CCA is getting everything it needs, and then we can talk about everything else. I mean, this is just it's a political game. Like, yeah, I support it. Yeah, I support it, but you supported it half at what the director's asking for. If they need investigators so they can run analysis and mediation, let's give them the investigators so they can run analysis and mediation. And let's fund it for a couple of 3 years, 4 years, see what they do, see if it works. If so, we stay there. If not, we think about it. I don't get it. It's simple as possible. And I think that if CCA is properly funded, it's going to benefit all Black people, all white people, all citizens of Cincinnati. I think it'll benefit the police as well, because it'll help to differentiate between, because sometimes people might make a complaint about an officer and there's really nothing there. Great. And then sometimes people make a complaint about an officer and it's everything there. We need to know. We need to know. So I agree with her. Contact your council person and let them know you want the full funding that was recommended by Gabe Davis, who was nice enough to come on the show and talk about what he's doing. I thought he was very thoughtful. I thought he spent a whole hour with us and gave us all the details about what they do and what they don't do. I had a lot of questions, a lot of which have already been answered by other interviews he's done, but I want to do it right here. I want to start with the basics, as if we know nothing, and then start with the other and stop with the other stuff. And he made a very compelling argument. Very compelling. And if we're gonna claim we love the collaborative, then let's fund every aspect of it to the nth degree so we can get the best out of it. All right, folks, that's my time. We got to a late start because, Facebook's still tripping. It's not even Facebook, but we got a hater out there that is reporting the show every single morning, and Facebook is working on it. It's funny how these things work, but just keep watching. We'll work with this. But we're on YouTube, Spreaker, TuneIn, the whole 9 yards. And then I'll be posting clips of the show on our CDM page. All right. Matter of fact, I'm going to start posting clips of all of our shows on a more regular basis because I want to make sure people see the content we have. A lot of emerging voices, fresh faces, new voices that you're hearing here on CDM. And if you know somebody that's interested in doing a podcast, let me know. Perhaps we can work together. I love to think about it. I love to talk with you about it. Have an excellent rest of your Monday, everybody. Remember our motto: winners focus on winning. Losers focus on winners. So stay focused, stay winning, and we'll talk real soon. I'm out.